One of the best parts of life is when you can admit the truth to yourself about yourself. Cyberspace is a world where one can become something he isn't, but everything he dares to be. I wasn't interested in getting attached to anyone, and I knew I wouldn't take anyone I met online seriously. I had multiple screen names to increase my chances of meeting someone attractive. The majority of the profiles noted HIV negative under status, but I knew better from the work I had done in the HIV community. I knew 1 out of 3 black gay men was positive. The messages I found in my inbox validated me in my depression. In some strange way, they reinforced that I was worthy and deserving. My days consisted of waking up and logging on to see how many messages had accrued overnight. Months passed before I got honest with my therapist about what was happening with me. And before I knew it, I heard myself say, I've been having sex with people I meet online. To listen to more of Words Never Spoken in Memoir, visit audible.com. When I released my first book, I remember thinking very heavily about Elon Harris and how he did it, how he managed to reach millions of people around the world through his work, and how I would do it. His readers became my readers. I write because it's my passion. I write with black people on my mind and black gay men in my heart. Toni Morrison gave me the courage to say that out loud.
Yes, I can write about white people. White people can write about black people. Anything can happen in art. There are no boundaries there.
I could write about anything, anyone, but I choose to write about our experience.
And I've spent my entire writing life trying to make sure that the white gaze was not the dominant one in any of my books.
Book of Jewels is my love letter to black people.
It has nothing to do with who reads the books. Everyone, I hope, of any race, any gender, any country.
Book of Jewels is 11 of the biggest life lessons that I've learned to date, and the stories behind those lessons. Book of Jewels is available now on Audible, all e-readers, and Amazon.com. Visit www.craigthewriterstewart.com for more information. Good day, thinkers, thought leaders, progressives, and dreamers. I'm Craig the Writer Stewart, and I'm inviting you to join my Patreon. Don't know what a Patreon is? It's my official video diary with only exclusive content that you won't see anyplace else. It's easy to join. Just visit patreon.com/Craig the Writer Stewart. Here's what you'll find on my Patreon. A day in my life, whether that's dinner with friends or a typical workday. Live Q&As with members of my Patreon about each episode of the T.S. Madison Experience and what I was really thinking. I'll even bring you on vacation with me. The video will make you think that you were right there. And last but not least, for all of my aspiring writers, I give you firsthand, one-on-one, personalized attention, answering all of your questions about publishing and self-publishing. So what are you waiting for? Join now. Swipe up or visit www.patreon.com/Craig the Writer Stewart. I'll see you soon. Oh, and one more thing. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. That's youtube.com/Craig the Writer. Do it now. Good day, thinkers, thought leaders, progressives, and dreamers. I'm Craig the Writer Stewart, and this is So Much to Say YouTube TV. These are my thoughts, in my voice, on black shit, white shit, gay shit, and everything in between. Now, So Much to Say YouTube TV is the place that you come to learn and grow. So go ahead and hit the like button, the share button, and the subscribe button. And turn on that little bell so that you get a notification every single time that I go live or I upload something new. Now sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Hold on. That's this. There we go. Hey, girl. Hey, girl, hey. Hey, girl, hey. Hey, boy, hey. What's up, people? I don't know how the light on the phone went dark.
I don't either.
Because we got plenty of light in here.
Battery? I don't know what, no, it's not. I don't know why I did that. But at any rate, good day, thinkers, thought leaders, progressors, and dreamers. I'm Craig, the writer Stewart. This is Kim from Paid for Your Say. These are my thoughts in my voice on black shit, white shit, gay shit, and everything in between. Now, I'm approaching 30,000 subscribers on YouTube. So this video is actually for you brand new folk, because I know some of you do not know what Paid for Your Say is. And so we want to talk about Paid for Your Say. And we have a special promo code. It's in the caption of the video, if you want to type it in there with the website. But it's in the caption of the video, and then Kim is going to type it down in the comments. We're running a $100 promo right now. The promo code is Best Life 100. So it's BESTLIFE 100. And we want to talk to you about our experience with Paid for Your Say. And if those of you in the comments want to drop your comments down there, you're welcome to do that. But please hit the like button, hit the share button, hit the subscribe button. I'm not certain how long we're going to run this Best Life 100. Those of you that have been in the program for as long as I've been promoting it, how long have I been promoting?
Almost 2 years. It's almost 2 years.
So some of you have been in it since I've been promoting it, and you've been racking up. And I think some of y'all owe me a couple referral fees. But I want to really have this conversation for the people that are brand new. Like I said, some of you are just following my YouTube channel. I predicted that we were going to have a recession, and I was really urging you guys. Aaron said, now is the time. I ain't been. But I was encouraging you guys before the recession started to jump into Paid for Your Say, because I knew that it was going to become a way for you guys to make extra money. And some of you believed me, some of you didn't, but then some of you did. And like, what's that girl's name who retired? She's in like Maryland. Dion. That lady has made so much money. Let me explain to y'all.
Yep, she retired, and now she just does Paid for Your Say.
And so does, what's his name, Ryan?
I don't know if it's Ryan or Ryan. He's in Connecticut. He quit his full-time job.
He makes
more money with Paid for Your Say now than he did with his full-time job.
But before he quit his job, he was unemployed at one point or something, right?
Yes.
And he was panicking, and then he went on and took a chance. He took his money, signed up for Paid for Your Say, and he started making all of this money. And so then he ended up finding a new job, I think. And well, he was getting unemployment for a period of time. Right. I hope I'm not saying too much.
But we didn't call his name out there.
Right, we didn't call his name out. But he started doing Paid for Your Say full time. And so I wanted to extend the invitation to those of you that have been following me since the beginning, since I've been promoting it, but especially for those of you who are new subscribers to the channel. So explain to them what Paid for Your Say is.
So what Paid for Your Say is a course where I teach you how to participate in focus groups. These companies are going to pay you really good money for your opinion. Could be on anything: fast food, new cars, pet treats, anything. I mean, I've been doing it for 31 years.
Appliances.
It could be anything.
Mm-hmm.
A new product, a new logo, a commercial, a new service. But I've been doing this for 31 years. So I've made a lot of contacts and a lot of money in 31 years. And it is recession proof.
It is recession proof.
During the pandemic, I made a lot of money. A lot of money with focus.
Because the truth is, and I know we're going to really explain it for those of you, and we're going to answer your questions as we see them scrolling across, because I know some of you have questions. Let me turn my phone down so that I can look at the comments as it's rolling, because I can see those, but it's easier if I just pull it up right here. But it is recession proof, and it's recession proof because these companies are not going out of business, right? And they are paying for your opinion so that they can modify their product,
or even decide if they want to put the product
to roll it out, right? To even roll it out, right? It's a market research. And so again, just like the name says, you're getting paid for your opinion, but it's called Paid for Your Say. My girl, Danny Woolard, she is, that's my girl from Hampton. I believe that's my friend from college, right? I think that's her.
It is,
yeah. And so she messaged me many times and was just like, oh my God, thank you so much. She said, I never take chances on stuff like this, but I did it because of you. And I was just like, wow. So she ended up signing up, my friend Danielle from college, from Hampton. And she signed up. Hey, yes. She said, yes, Craig. So she ended up signing up. And she's made a lot of money too. And she's emailed me on Facebook to say thank you for it. A lot of you have. And so I met Kim because Kim and I used to work. Kim and I used to work together, and so we used to work for this home auction company.
Yes.
And they used to auction off foreclosed homes. What year was that? I had just moved into 227.
Was it
That was
14, 15,
2014.
16-ish?
It was like 2015. It was like 2015. I had lived with Elliot for a year for free. And then I moved out and I moved into 227. And I was working for this home auction company, but it was only a part-time job. They paid really well, but it was only a part-time job. And so even though the money was really great, it wasn't enough for me to, it wasn't steady. And so I needed something to kind of supplement. So at the time I was driving for Lyft and Uber. And I was, of course, I had already written my books, my first and second book, but I still needed something to kind of supplement. And so I met Kim at this auction company. And there was a coworker there, a white girl, who actually didn't want us to be friends, right?
At all. She did not like me.
And she didn't like Kim for some reason.
She didn't like me because I started moving up in the company. That's
okay.
A whole other story.
I never knew.
To love me.
Okay. So she didn't like Kim, and I didn't know why. And I never worked with Kim, but I was trying to get more hours at the company, at the auction company. And so she was like, well, Kim worked in a different division from me. And so I was reaching out to Kim. She said, well, you can reach out to Kim to see if she'll give you some hours and let you come help her. She said, but she's real funny, so just watch yourself. Like she would say all this stuff, but I didn't give a damn because I needed the extra money, right? So I reached out to Kim, and Kim and I just kind of hit it off. And then she started, so then what happened was the white girl, and I'm only calling her the white girl because I don't want to say her name. But anyway, she ended up cutting my hours way back.
Way back.
And so Kim couldn't give me but so many hours. And so Kim was like, well, listen, this is before she didn't even have Paid for Your Say.
Right.
She was doing it, but she didn't have her business known as Paid for Your Say. And so she was doing these market research things. And so she said, well, I do these market research things, these studies. And she said, they want your opinion. She said it could be on appliances. It could be on fast food. I've done ones with Taco Bell. No, was it Taco Bell? Yeah, it was Taco Bell. Of course, I don't eat meat, so I didn't eat it. I just went and picked it up. I gave the taco to one of my friends, and they cut me the check. So I started doing all these studies. And so I was like, oh, wow, this is really dope. And I said to Kim, I said, you're really good at this. I said, you need to start a business. At some point, she ended up starting a business. And then we reconnected on Facebook. I had left the company and everything. Yeah. And then the auction company. And then we got connected on Facebook.
I just happened to see you one night. I think it was after that Iyanla Vanzant thing she did at the Fox Theater. I remember.
We were there?
Yeah, you were there and I was there, and I saw you on social media. We started talking.
Yes.
And
okay.
I became a fan. I knew him, but I became a fan.
Right. And then
Girl diver.
You're right. So we ended up becoming friends. And so we connected on Facebook. And then I just started doing it more because she just started, because the thing is, well, go ahead, jump in.
I was going to say, I sent you one. It was for $595.
She sent me one for $595 because the thing is, once you get in and you build a relationship with Kim, this is why once you get in, it's important for you to join her Paid for Your Say Facebook group. If you're not on Facebook, that's fine. You need to get in the Telegram group. Yes. I know some of y'all know what the Telegram is. Telegram is an app, and you download the app to your phone. Those of you who did that Cash App pyramid thing, that you need to download Telegram. And then she has a whole group over there. It's like thousands of people.
There's like 1,000 people in there. They're not all active. It is very busy.
Right. It's very busy because there are people in the Facebook group and in the Telegram group. They're all around the world. There are people from Canada, Dubai, all across the United States, the Netherlands, Amsterdam, Kenya. So again, once you get into the Telegram group, you might want to turn your notifications off because that phone's going to be beeping all night. Because what happens is when they get in the group, they're dropping links for different studies. Hey, there's a diaper study. I did a diaper study. Y'all know I don't have no kids. I wasn't even in.
Right, you weren't even here.
I wasn't even here. My aunt was here. I was in Pittsburgh at the time. And I had my aunt. So it was a diaper study. You had to have a kid. So you have to fudge your answers just a little bit, right?
We call it tailoring our answers.
We tailor our answers. Is that what you call it?
Yeah, we call it tailoring.
So you tailor your answers a little bit. You might tailor your age. I know some of you ladies and gay men already lie about your age. We know. And so I had to pretend that I had a kid. And in this particular study, the kid had to weigh like 95 pounds or something.
5 years old.
5 years old, and they had to have a bedwetting problem. So I'm in Pittsburgh, the diapers come here, and they had a diaper for each day that I had to have my son sleep in. And each night, we just made up a weight for the diaper.
You would put water in there.
We would put water in it and we would weigh it. But again, in the group, in the Telegram group, people were putting their answers in there. So like, we help each other is what I'm basically saying. And so I just finished doing a study for Jaguar. I did a study a few months ago. It was Jaguar also. It pays $600. And I didn't have to leave my house. I was right here on my computer. You do have to have a desktop for most of these studies.
Yeah, desktop or laptop.
A desktop or a laptop. Desktop or a laptop. You can't typically do it on the iPad. You can't typically do it on your smartphone. And so I was doing one for Jaguar and it paid $600. Well, they called me again like 2 weeks ago and said, hey, we have a second part to it because Jaguar is about to roll out an electric car. It's going to be a luxury car, but it's an electric car. And so it was online right here at the house. And this portion paid $1,000. So again, right now we're offering your entry for $100. Now we were at $200. So if you're going to join, this is the time to join. Don't email me next week or next month or whatever it is talking about, I was kind of going through something that day and I didn't really have the money. Do you think you can? Because the answer's going to be no. All right.
You're going to make that $100.
You're going to make that $100
your first
back.
Study.
Right.
I mean, you really will.
Yolanda says she's leaving a study right now that paid her $450. So again, you have to invest in yourself. People say this is not a scam. This is not a scheme. Those of you that have been following me for the past 5 years, you know that I'm not going to pull you into something that I don't believe in or something that I don't know it actually works. And so.
And somebody was asking about taxes.
Oh, go ahead.
And I was just telling him before we came on, I made about $19,000 last year.
Just through Paid for Your Say. Now, who could use an extra $19,000?
I didn't pay any taxes. I didn't get a 1099 from anyone.
Right. And we were just saying that perhaps they didn't 1099 her because a lot of these studies will pay you electronically. Yeah. Like it'll be an electronic Visa card where they'll email you the Visa card or whatever, and then you can just use it and put it in your wallet. Like if you have a smartphone, like an iPhone, you can put it in your wallet. Or like for me, I would put it into my Amazon account because I know some of y'all stay on Amazon. Y'all right there on Amazon right now. So you put it on your Amazon account, or you can request an actual physical Visa card, or they'll mail you a check. Sometimes they Zelle you. Sometimes they PayPal you. It just depends.
Sometimes a check.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, I think one of the great things is that it is the majority are by Zoom still. Even though we're pretty much out of the pandemic, you don't even have to leave your home.
A lot of you don't have to leave your house. I did just sign up for one where I do have to leave my house. It's going to be, but it pays $175. I think it's an hour. It's an hour long. How many people making $175 an hour? And I think it's March. It's like in a week or so. Mm-hmm. It's gonna be like 3 o'clock in the afternoon. But I mean, it's a great way to make extra money. If you have questions, if you're already in the study and you have questions or you need assistance, this is why I'm encouraging you to jump into her Facebook group. It's called Paid for Your Say. Or you jump into the Telegram group. You download the app. That's whether you have an iPhone or a Galaxy. You download the Telegram app and then just look for the Paid for Your Say group. And they're in there all the time talking and sharing information.
Yeah, I mean, if you have questions, there's always somebody there to answer.
Always somebody there. Even if you can't get to Kim, but you can get to Kim because her email is there as well. But even if you can't get to her, there are other members in the group. They're all willing to help. I'm telling you, it's like a family in there.
There's no competition.
There's no competition.
There's more than enough to go around.
More than enough.
I mean, there just is somebody was saying your cigarette study was $1,500, but that was
no. My cigarette study was $2,700, and that's the only time I've gotten a 1099. It's right here. But so that's the only time, and it depends on how much it is. But you're not typically doing a study with the same companies, right? So even if there's a company that pays you $300. And then there's another one that pays you $400 or one that pays you $150. You're typically, because she has access to what, like 60 different?
It's more than that, companies.
Market research companies. And again, they want your opinion. It's just like, it's just like if you test out a product, like there's one, just called me the other day, the lady Sandra from McConnell.
Razors.
She ain't never called me back though. I just thought about that. I was at the barbershop the other day and she called me and I was in the barber chair and I said, I have to call you back. I'm in the barber chair.
It's
Then
$100. You should call her back.
and I called her back and she said, oh, I'm at lunch. She chewing all of my ear. I'm at lunch. Can I call you back? I said, yeah, call me back. And I just thought about it. She never called me back.
Yeah, call her. I just talked to her today.
Okay.
It's $100. I think you have to go in on Monday.
Okay.
Pick it up. Test
Okay.
your razors, $100.
But like I've done cigarette studies. They'll ship, and I don't smoke. They'll ship the cigarette cartons to the house. Go ahead.
Did you have to smoke? Actually smoke when you did the smoking study?
They ship. Oh no. So there was another cigarette study that I did where I had to drive to the location, and that was
10 days.
That was for 10 days. But for $2,700, I drove those 10 days. It was Monday through Friday.
Like a job.
It was like a job. But who making $2,700 in 2 weeks?
And you weren't there the whole day.
No, I wasn't there the whole day. I had to drive. I had to get there at, what was it, like 8:30 in the morning?
Mm-hmm.
I had to be there like 8:30 in the morning. And I was back home by, the study was done by like 12:30. It was like,
I think you were like working while you were there.
Yeah. I would do my Patreon driving out there. I would do a live driving out there. So when I was doing like those morning live streams, I was driving out there. But it paid $2,700, and I never had to smoke on that one. Now I could have been pulled, but it was called randomly.
Right.
And just by the luck of draw, I just never was called. And they gave us this little electronic cigarette, and you had to smoke it. I gave it to my Aunt Gloria. She smoked them.
Just so many things. My best one was a webcam. Do they call it webcam?
Mm-hmm.
Interview for $50 on a
question.
personal product. $50 for half an hour. Did the call, and they told me at the end, hey, we're going to be picking 5 women from across the U.S. to be in a commercial. We'll let you know tomorrow. I didn't think anything of it. Next day they called me and said they chose me. I really was hesitant as to whether I wanted to do it though, because I don't use the product.
Mm-hmm.
But they told me it was $1,900. We're going to fly you out to LA. So I said, yeah. Went out there, did the commercial.
Now I need a study like that.
It was so much fun, Craig. It started airing about 2 months after I got back. I ended up making $28,000.
How much?
$28,000.
Because they ran
the
commercial. And so now that's the unique one. Okay, now we started up thinking, well, y'all said we gonna get a 2,800. No, we can guarantee that you can get some
28,000.
It was 28,000, not 2,800. It was 28,000. Some people ain't even making 28,000 a year. Okay, but so don't think that everyone is going to be like that. Now I can guarantee you that you will get some that'll be 150, 175, 350. But all of them will not be $28,000. It was because this one was a commercial. It was a national commercial. Mm-hmm. And every time it ran, they had to cut her a check. But Nikki Bentley said, honestly, I signed up last year. Still don't quite understand how to get started. My question, Nikki, and you don't have to necessarily answer. My question would be, she's putting her email address in here now. So if you have questions, you can email her, okay? If you're thinking about signing up, if this conversation isn't enough to convince you, then email Kim, give her an opportunity to email you back. But once you sign up, once you go to www.paidforyoursay.com and you use the promo code BESTLIFE100, you're going to get an email right away. It's going to instruct you to go and sign up for the Telegram and her Facebook group.
And it's got video modules.
And
explaining everything from start to finish.
There are video modules. You got to watch the video modules.
Watch the videos.
It explains things start to finish. So my question for Nikki would be, did you do those things? And if you didn't, if you did and you still need a little help, that's fine. But email Kim. She just dropped her email down here. Let me see. Let me put it up on the screen. She just dropped her email.
Me. There's video modules.
Here it is.
The list of companies, like you said, Telegram and Facebook. And then I have probably 20 Zoom calls. They are very long. They're like 90 minutes long.
Yeah.
You don't have to watch them all, but I would eventually watch them all, put it that way.
Right.
And those are all calls that I've done with people that are in the course.
Dawn King said it best. All of your answers are in the modules. It really is. But we know some of y'all don't like to study. That's why some of y'all flunked out of school.
Because some people, they'll sign up and then they just come to Telegram and they start asking questions.
Right.
And I know right away.
Or
they
haven't looked at the modules. Or you were in school and you were looking at the other person's cheat sheet because you didn't want to do your homework.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But the answers are really there. But again, if you need assistance, you can email Kim at support@paidforyoursay.com.
Yes.
Support@paidforyoursay.com. And now when we first started promoting this, she would let y'all email her. She would get on the phone with y'all, and she would walk y'all through it. She would hold your hand, and then it became overwhelming because a lot of y'all weren't doing your homework. And then she would email me, or she would call me and be like, "Craig, it's so many people. Oh my God." I said, "Well, Kim, you're gonna have to start. You're gonna have to start charging them.
I just couldn't.
You're gonna have to start charging them. Okay, I don't know how much you charge."
Yeah. Well, I was so excited about it because this is not like work at all.
Right.
So people would text me or DM me.
She gave y'all her phone number. Like, you know, I ain't doing all that.
I never expected this. So I had my email. I used to have my phone number. So I would have like 45-minute conversations with people.
With all of these people who wouldn't watch the thing.
You know, just because they needed help. But yeah, I can't do that anymore.
Right.
So,
but it became too much. Literally it did. Because fortunately, this platform just became such a great thing. I mean, it was just so big. And it just, I mean, she ended up getting hundreds of people, and it just became too much. You know what I mean? You can't hold everybody's hand. So, and I knew that if she assessed the fee to it, again, I don't know how much she charges to do a one-on-one phone call with her where she can literally hold your hand and walk you through it. But it became too much when it was 25 or 30 people asking the same thing, because we were having like so many people signing up in a week. Like we would do like these holiday promos. I mean, and so many people would sign up. We would just be blown away.
Yeah. So it's about time to do another Zoom call for new people, because a lot of new people have been signing up. But so for the one-on-ones, and I guarantee you, once you do the one-on-one, you're going to get it. You're going to get the money, because it's just me and you. So it's $50 for 30 minutes. Or if you have someone else on the call with you, it's $75 for the two people.
Yeah.
So $37.50. But I mean, some people do need that personalized, you know, hold handy. But between the video modules and the Zooms and the Telegram.
Now, when she's saying these Zoom calls, she does a Zoom call where those of you who need help or have questions and things like that, the Zoom calls are free.
The Zoom calls are already there.
The Zoom calls
are already been recorded, and they're in the course.
Oh, okay. So Zoom calls that we did previously are already in the course, because they weren't there before, right?
No, they weren't.
Okay. So now,
I started when
she started doing it, once it started to get, because typically you guys are going to ask the same kind of questions, right? So she started recording the Zoom calls, and those Zoom calls are now there. So you can just go over there and look at those Zoom calls and just listen to the questions that people are asking, and then surely it's going to answer your question.
Yeah, and some of them are subject specific to market research, and some of them are I just call them like new members calls. And yeah, it is typically the same questions, but it's time for another one, because I like to meet you know, who signed up and everything.
So she'll do a new one where it'll be, you know, live, and you can join that call. You can ask your questions. But let's kind of break it down just a little bit more. So we kind of gave them the information that it could be on anything. Like it could be, I did one on pancakes one time. It was for like, I think it was Quality Inn Hotel. And they were, and they were trying to decide if they were they had like a pancake that they used during their holiday season. And I guess they had like a cinnamon nutmeg taste to it or something. But they were trying to decide whether or not they should run that one all year long, or if they should just reserve that for the holiday season. And so they had us come in. This was one of the ones that I had to go in for. And they let us taste the regular pancake. Then they let us taste the nutmeg, whatever it was. And then they took they did a poll. That's really what it's about. But the thing is, a lot of times you need to be, and you may not be, but the way that you set your profile up, and once you get into the study, you'll know what I'm talking about when I say set your profile up. You need to be a person that has a partner, whether you're gay, straight, or whatever. You need to say that you are in a committed relationship. Because when these market research companies are doing studies, they want to work with people that have a family. They're not interested in single people, right? Unfortunately.
It's certain demographics.
It's certain demographics. And so they want people that are partnered, that have children. You make a certain amount of money. Even if you only make $40,000 or $50,000, whatever. Typically, we usually say you want to put that you make about $90,000 or $100,000. And then also, what's the other thing I'm forgetting? A certain age range. If you're 75, you might want to put that you're 60.
Maybe 55.
Or 55. You know,
I have a whole new persona.
Really?
Oh, I'm 47.
Oh.
My kids are 15 and 17, but they're 26.
Well,
they've been 15 and 17 for you.
Well, my kids are 3 and no. I'm sorry. My kids are 6 and 13.
13.
And they don't ask you to bring the kids in for the study. Now, there are studies that they want kids to be there. I stay away from those. But if they just asking you just for demographic sakes, I have a 6-year-old and a 13-year-old.
And education level too.
And your education, that's the thing I was trying to remember. They want people typically who have a degree. So I always put that I have a bachelor's degree. You know what I mean? So it's certain, so if you don't have a degree,
you just got one.
They're not asking for proof of this. They're not asking for a copy of a diploma and all of that. So you just gotta fudge.
And your occupation is really important.
Your occupation is important.
There's certain ones that are going to disqualify you. So I go through all of that. So
she goes through all of that once you get into the study. We give you all of the ropes. It may sound a little overwhelming, but you got to bet on yourself. Don't allow fear to deter you from this. And so for me, I always say that I work in real estate.
Yeah.
Now, there are certain studies. My girl, Mimi Parker, she's always emailing me studies. Some of them are based on social media, and they're looking for social media influencers. So for those, of course, I say that I'm a social media influencer, but you can't work in public relations, sales, advertising. So if you do really work in those fields, you got to stay away from that because they're going to disqualify you right away. Mm-hmm. So it's just really about how to answer the questions. Because what happens is when you get into the Paid for Your Say Facebook group or the Telegram group, you're going to get a screener. And the screener is just basically questions: your name, your age, your address, how much you make a year, all of this stuff that we're talking about now. They're going to ask you this stuff first to determine whether or not you are their demographic, whether or not you're their customer. Your race. Now, your race is your race.
Right. Although.
Now, certain ones are looking for Black people. Now, some of them.
Some people are saying Hispanic and they're not. But
some people say, now, if I feel like it's a study for Hispanic, I got a little bit of Puerto Rican in me. I got a little, ¿cómo estás? Now, anything past muy bien, I don't know. But it could be anything. It could be on small businesses. The study could be on, I've done some on small businesses. I've done some on banking. It could be on anything.
Literally anything.
Right.
I had one where I had to take a drop of water and put it on my nose, above my lip, and wipe it off 16 times with a different Kleenex each time.
What was that? What was it for? What were they
different
trying
Kleenexes, different.
Oh, just to see the feel of it, I guess.
I mean, all kind of taste tests. I've driven luxury cars. That's one of my favorite ones also. Can
you go and change your profile? These things have changed. I signed up in 2021.
So the thing is, I think you're talking about with the particular companies, there's no need to go back and change that because they're really not looking at that.
Right.
But when you get these screeners, that's when you change it. Right. They're not comparing the two. I'm proof. I've been with some of these companies 30 years.
Right.
They know I'm 57 because they have my original date of birth. But I'm 47 on every single screener, and they're not checking.
Right.
Even in person, I show my license. They're not looking at that. They're looking at your name and your face.
Now, listen, for that smoke study that I did, let me tell you how serious I was about getting in. I paid somebody $25 for their pee. Because when I had to go in and urinate in a cup. Now, I don't smoke cigarettes, but they're able to tell from your urine whether or not you smoke. Well, Kim hooked me up with somebody that had some clean pee. And the thing about that is, and I didn't know this until this study, I was about to get somebody's urine who is a smoker, but it's a female. And they can tell from your urine that whether or not you male or female. They'd be looking at me like, so are you trans? Like, what? Because this is a woman's urine.
Know all that.
Yeah, I didn't know that at the time.
You had to keep it warm.
I had to keep. It was hot when I did it, so I set it out in the sun. I set it out in the sun, and I wore like some baggy jeans that day, and I had my little container with the pee in it, and I put it down in my pants. So when I walked in, and they had me go urinate, I went in there and urinated. Well, I didn't urinate, but I took it out of my pants, and kept it going.
$2,700.
$2,700 later. There was something I was gonna say. Let me see if I can remember what I was gonna say.
You did that in-home one for, was it 400?
Yeah, that was 400. I did an in-home study one. It was like they wanted to know how you utilize your space in your home. So
like your furniture placement.
Your furniture placement and stuff like that. So they wanted you to take pictures of 5 rooms in your house. So I took a picture of this room, my living room, my kitchen, my dining room, and they wanted the backyard, so I did the backyard as well. And then you email the pictures in, and then what happens is they had somebody come in. They had a team of people, like 3 people. You couldn't be home, so I left my house, and they paid it was $400 or $600. And when they were done, They left the gift card on my table.
Yeah, that was good. A lot of people in Atlanta got that one.
And I think that was one for like virtual reality.
Yeah.
I think they were doing
It
like,
was tedious, but it was
yeah,
easy.
it was easy.
You know, easy money.
I mean, it's just easy money. And like, I love when I have like multiple Visa cards from these studies or multiple checks, because it's like, there are months that I'm living off of that money. And you could be doing the same thing. You could literally be doing the
So
same
I think
thing.
this year I'm up to $5,200.
You've already made $5,200?
You know, and I don't feel them out as much as I used to.
Right. I'm just getting back into it this year. So I did the one for Jaguar, which was $1,000. So I'm waiting for that check. And then I just did the
That's
one.
a good one.
Oh, I know what I was going to say. Then I did the one that you just sent me. What was that? 150 or 175?
I think it was 175.
175. So this is the thing. This is what I wanted to say. It just came back to me. RR said, I just came back from a mock trial. I've done a mock trial before too. It's like a mock jury trial.
On that one.
Yeah.
You're getting upset on that one.
We actually were in that one together,
Yeah.
just by luck. And it was one of these ones where they were trying to determine whether or not they were going to charge these black people for a crime. And I was just like, well, wait a minute.
Shoot like a
They had shot
delivery
somebody,
driver or
they had shot
something.
like a delivery driver or something. And I was just like, well, wait a minute. But even though it's a mock trial, they call it a mock trial, it's based on something that's really happening. And so I was like, well, I can't, in good conscience, put these black people in jail. That's the comment I just put up there.
yeah, that's
What
great.
does it say? I'm in the UK.
She's in the
What?
UK. Karen Ferguson, I'm in the UK. On average, I'm doing 1 to 2 studies a day.
Wow.
She's in the
So
UK.
Karen is in the UK. So we were on that mock trial together. But what I was going to say was, once you build a rapport with Kim also, so when you sign up, it's important if you put what city you're in or what state or country or whatever like that, because sometimes because she's been doing this for 31 years, sometimes the recruiters will call her and say, hey, we need black females between the ages of this and this who, it was like a tampon study one time.
I mean, these recruiters literally will tell me exactly what they want.
What they're looking for.
And I can just choose
And then she
who
can
to put in there.
Yeah,
and
then she can
she'll
reach out.
Put them in. I mean, she doesn't know why I have so many connections. I don't
Right.
think she cares.
Right. Because a lot of these recruiters, they have a quota to make. Now, some of them are to the T. They cross their T's, dot their
Yeah,
I's.
we don't want to deal with them.
Right. But then there's some, they're like, I don't give a damn. Like, we just
Some of
need
them are giving you the answers.
Right. And so what happens is, it's important to let Kim know when you sign up. I'm in Memphis. I'm a black female or white female, Hispanic female, Asian, whatever it is. You need to let her know, because sometimes she gets calls from recruiters asking for specific demographics. And then she can reach out to you and say, hey, I have this study, I can give the lady your number. So also be mindful of that. So build a rapport with Kim if you
Yeah,
can.
'cause I remember you. I mean, the people that come in and ask me a lot of questions.
And
or
you're
just
active
talk
in
to
the
me. Yeah,
and you're
yeah.
active in the Patreon. You're active in the
Put
Telegram.
your state in there. That's helpful.
But your state. But and again, here's another question that comes up a lot. Do you have to live in the United States? No, you do not. We just saw somebody who commented who says she lives in the UK. But we have someone that's in Dubai. Her name is
She's
Melody.
cleaning up. She's made like $4,000 a month from Dubai.
In Dubai.
And also, I have a chat just for people that don't live in the United States too.
Okay.
So I mean,
That's
because
in the Telegram.
it is a little different. Yeah, it is a little different if you're outside the United States, but you absolutely can do it.
Right.
Absolutely. Some of those people in the mock trials are in Africa. I mean,
Really?
Yeah, we know they are.
Come on, Africa.
They're not saying hardly anything on those trials either. They just,
Really?
they just sit there listening to us.
Really?
The connection's all spotty.
Yeah.
But hey, they figured it out.
Okay, so at this point, let me see if there are any questions. Do you guys have any questions? Have we forgotten to mention anything?
Yeah, Will Kim, have we forgotten anything?
Right.
Tanny, Aaron.
Mimi said I cashed a $415 check yesterday from studies.
Stacy Michelle, she cleans up. She's testing
I
an
test
anti-aging product for $350.
Oh, wow. So you're saying the connection is spotty because they're in Africa?
Yeah, it is. I mean, it is.
Yeah.
In and out. Okay, let me stop. But it is.
But they're getting that money.
They are.
Amen.
They
They're
are.
getting that money, though.
Let me see. Do I need to give you my information again?
That's Miss Kelly.
I think she's talking about the information you just said.
There
said,
was
like,
never a lot of studies in Cleveland.
The studies don't have to be in your area. It doesn't
Yeah, that's what
matter
I'm
where you
saying.
live because the majority are nationwide.
Yeah.
The majority are nationwide, so it doesn't matter where you live.
Again, which goes back to the point I was just making. there are people around the world. So you don't have to be, and there's certain ones it'll say it.
It'll tell you.
Yeah,
it's in person.
But that's because it's in person. But that's rare. Most of them, they don't give a damn where you are.
At all. If you're near a major city, typically there are going to be some that are in person.
Correct.
But I know a lot of people that they never go in person. They just there's more than enough to do online. I have an app in there where there's one lady in the group. That's all she does is that app, and she's making close to $1,000 a month. Just on that. She doesn't even do studies.
Right.
So.
And then the other thing is, part of what you're paying for, when you pay this $100, you're paying for access. You're paying for access to the names of these market research companies. Those of you that are members, please don't drop the names. Nobody has done it, but I'm just reminding you. Don't drop names of any of the market research companies because, again, that's what you've paid for. And so you're paying for the names.
They're legitimate companies.
They're
not companies that are going to pay you 25 cents for 10 minutes.
No.
So these are legitimate companies,
Correct.
All, that I've used.
Listen, we've had people that have taken off for the day because they've made more in a study than they were going to get paid at work for that day. That's how serious this is.
PTO.
Yeah, they'll take a PTO day, so they'll still get paid at work.
Will, Kim, I see you in there.
And then they'll still get
Mel
paid
Green
for.
just signed up. Welcome, Mel.
Mel Green, welcome, Mel Green. Hey, girl, hey. So you should get your email right away, Mel Green, with the instructions on how to find the Facebook group and the Telegram, and then you can at least start watching like the modules, and you can watch it on your lunch break. Mm-hmm. Half of y'all go to work anyway. Y'all gonna white people's time and be on social media anyway. Look at those modules, and if you have questions, then go ahead and email Kim at support.
Well, it's best if you're in a group to put it in Telegram. That way everyone else can see it.
Yes, there you go. So if you have questions, drop it in the Telegram or the Facebook group, because then you don't have to wait for Kim to respond. The other members can help you.
But if it's something you just want to ask me,
right? You
can ask anybody. I always will respond.
C8701 said, "Child, I played hooky at work for a mock trial." I know that's right. How many? Will Kim said, "How many surveys do you recommend that we fill out daily, weekly?"
Okay, he's trying to be funny, I think. But Will is an expert.
Yes, he is.
He is what we all are. What they call professional respondents.
Like, didn't he quit his job too? Didn't he?
He doesn't like you.
Oh, he don't want me to say that.
No. Will does very well. I forgot what I was going to say now.
How many?
How many? Most people try to do about 10 a day. That sounds like a lot, but it's really not. You don't have to do them all at once. Some of them are 2 minutes long, some are 5 minutes long, but 10 a day is a good number to aim for.
And here's the thing when it comes to filling out the screeners, because again, the screeners is just the thing to determine whether or not you're going to be chosen for the study, right? And it's based on how you answer the questions. I do them like if I'm standing in line to order food, or if I'm standing in line at the grocery store, I'll just sit there and answer the questions real quick. You know what I mean? So I just do it or if I'm watching a TV show, I'll do it while the commercial is on. Like you'll find time to do it. Like you know what I mean? Like don't make it seem like it's homework or a chore, because it's not that serious. Like you just want to kind of answer the questions when you have a free moment.
And you start getting addicted. A lot of the people.
Yeah. Especially when that check starts rolling in.
Yeah, and you have to be very organized. You have to, especially if you are tailoring your answers, you have to remember what you said.
Oh, a journal. Tell them about that.
Yeah, I don't really do it anymore because I just remember my lies now.
Right.
But yeah, you need to write it down or use a spreadsheet. We actually have somebody in the group that has created a spreadsheet to keep track of everything. It's really, really good. So you could purchase that, or some people just use an Excel spreadsheet. Some people just screenshot. Some people just write it down, but you do need to remember, because once you get in, they're probably going to call you back and re-screen you. Not go over everything, just the important questions. So if you give them a different answer, many times they'll disqualify you, or sometimes they'll try to help you.
Right, and the thing also, part of the reason that you want to keep like a little notepad or a little journal. Say, for example, you get chosen for your first study, right? And you're chosen by company X, and then you do another screener, and then a company Y call you. You want to make a note of that. You want to write down the name of the company, what the study is on, and how much they're paying. Keep a log of all of that stuff, because sometimes they'll pay you within 4 or 5 days. Sometimes it takes a couple weeks for them to cut the check because they have to close the study first. So you want to keep track of it. And there have been a couple times that I've had to reach out and touch somebody and be like, excuse me, don't you need to see me? I need my $350.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Sometimes you got to reach out to, typically you don't. But
I've never not been paid.
Right, I've never not. Well, I had that one where that lady didn't want to pay me, and I threatened to send her ass up to the Better Business Bureau.
What was it on?
What was it on? But I
know what it was.
I
You
did
were an automotive thing. You were the manager.
Okay, let me tell you the story. So this particular study was about.
Will's gonna laugh at this one.
You had to be a manager at an automotive dealership, right? And so I told them that I was like a service manager. And so what happened was they realized that a lot of people that were getting into the study were lying. And so by the time I rolled my ass through there, it was given very much so, what dealership do you work for? What's the phone number over there? We need to call and verify.
He messed up for all of us.
And
you
so
went first.
I went first.
And they must have realized something.
And so what happened was, I do have a friend that manages the service department. So I called him and said, so I told him the dealership and all that other stuff. So then the recruiter called me back and told me that my incentive, aka my check, was going to be mailed to the dealership. I said, the fuck it ain't. You need to mail my shit over here to my house. And so they wanted to mail it. I said, first of all, you all explained to me that it was going to be this, and that. So I ended up doing the study, and they wanted to send my check somewhere else. And so then they realized, they said, well, we called and they don't have record of you working there. So long story short, I said, listen, I gave y'all my time.
That's not typical, though.
That is not typical.
Like,
I've never have had that happen. But at any rate, they paid me my motherfucking money.
Because you threatened them.
I sure did. I said, y'all can pay me my motherfucking money.
So once they went through all that with Craig, they canceled the rest.
They canceled the rest of the stuff.
I didn't pick up the phone when they called because I knew they were canceling.
And because she knew she ain't working no damn dealership.
But guess what I was? I was a dental office manager for $350.
You were what?
For $100 for an hour.
Really?
Versatile. Wear many hats.
And see, the beautiful thing about this is most of these studies are usually only about an hour, hour and a half. Some of them may be 3 hours, but they pay really good money.
They do.
Now, for me, I look at it like this. I want to be paid for my studies about $100 an hour. So, like some of the studies, they might want to pay you $125.
People get real bougie.
People get bougie. Right.
I'm not gonna do it for $60 for an hour.
Right, I'm like $60. That's all y'all paying is $60 for an hour. Oh,
you should see them with the check.
I got get somebody else to do it. I got better things to do. But no, but like sometimes it'll be like a 3-day study because it's an online thing where you go online and you again once you sign up for the study, if it's an online thing, they're trusting that you're going to be self-motivated and you log into the system that they give you, the link. And then you go in there and you fill out your answers day by day. This is not all of the studies. This is just some. And so you go in there and you fill up. You put it up there.
What do? Just tap it?
Yeah. Yeah. And so you have to go in there each day. And so sometimes it'll be like for 3 days and they'll want to pay you like $125. I'm like, I'm not giving you 3 days of my time for no $125.
But it's not 3 days.
It's not 3 days because you literally might be on there for 30 minutes for 3 days. But I just like, no,
that's still an hour. That's still,
yeah, that's like an hour and a half. So that ain't bad. But you know, you just figure it out for yourself.
I like just do one and done.
I like to
call be done or go there and be done.
And when it's a Zoom call, it's usually multiple people on the Zoom. And so when I feel like I have an answer that I can contribute to, I jump in. I don't wait for them to call on me. I'll jump in and answer my question because then they're less likely to call you for a question that you don't know the answer to. Then they'll be looking at other people. Oh, well, let's get somebody else because I'd have been the teacher's pet.
And I try not to do. I don't do things that I just have no idea what they're talking about. Because that's uncomfortable. That's really uncomfortable.
Right.
A lot of things you can just research. For the most part, it really is just your opinion. Now there are some where you need to know what you're talking about. Like I do a lot for Salesforce. I did that for my last job, so I need to know Salesforce. That's not just your opinion. I need to,
actually know the system, the software.
The ones that are specific to your occupation pay really, really well.
Right.
So, but people get nervous, especially when it's the first one.
Yeah.
Like it's just your opinion, and especially if there's a lot of people on the call, like you said, you can piggyback off of people. But when it's one-on-one, it is a little more intense. But still, it's just your opinion. It
really is just your opinion. So there's no wrong or right answer once you're in the study. And there are wrong answers before you get into the study. Because if you're filling out that screen and you give the wrong answer, good luck, good night, you're not in.
Because I had somebody
said the website isn't working. You got to make sure that you put in www.paidforyoursay. You can't just put in paid for your say. Or did you change that?
No, that's right.
Right. So you got to put in www. It's scrolling at the bottom right here. www.
Me a heart attack.
Okay, it's working. She just pulled it up. www.paidforyoursay.com, and there's your promo code right there as well. Best Life 100. And if you're already in and you know somebody, a family member, a friend, whatever, who's bugging you, borrowing money all the time, send their asses over here and let them sign up so they can get out your purse.
I actually know someone, he purchased 3 courses for 3 girlfriends because they were always asking for money from them. Now I don't know if they use it or not, but
so he got 3 girlfriends, and he said
3. Yeah, he bought it for each one of them. I haven't seen not one of them.
And if you got a shopping habit, this is a great way to make extra money.
Or some people use it just to travel.
Yes. What's our girl name? Where is she in Florida? And she took herself and her kids. They went on a cruise. I can't remember her name. Her name Aja. That's her name.
She's in the medical field.
Yes, she's in the medical field. She was cleaning the fuck up.
Yeah. Yes, 3 girlfriends.
Yes, she was cleaning up. So I mean, it's really about what you do with it and how you spend it.
Yeah, I mean, you can pay bills with it.
You can go out to eat with it.
And you spend $100 in a nice night out.
But even for gas for your car, like when those gas prices started climbing and people were complaining about gas, I didn't give a damn because I had gift cards. Not gift card. When I say gift cards, I mean Visa cards that I would use to get my gas.
Yeah.
And like when I was doing stuff around the house, I would use Visa cards to buy paint or whatever it was that I was doing.
Because there's one company now, when you get their gift card, you can go to the ATM and withdraw cash. I'll let you know who that is.
Oh.
So it's nice. Because I had like a $500 gift card and I just got cash.
Right. Oh, that's nice. Are there any other questions? Let me look in here to see if there are any other questions that we need to address. Because we're about to wrap up. We got about 5 more minutes left on here. Again, the promo code is BestLife100. I'm not certain when the code is going to be removed. I will tell you, it'll be there till at least Friday, because I know a lot of you get paid on Fridays. So it'll be there at least until this Friday. I'm not sure how long it's going to be there after that.
NYC Onyx, yes, I have thought about that.
What was that?
Annual membership. I'm actually thinking about charging for Telegram. Not much, but like even if it's just $5 a month, that Telegram,
because it's a resource.
It's almost like night and day.
But how would you? I wonder how you would charge for that.
Telegram has
they have a feature.
Yeah, or there's an app or something that you can use. I mean, I have been thinking about that for a long time.
Right.
$5 a month is nothing.
And here's the thing. Let me say this. I just thought about this. Part of the reason that I started promoting this, and I had shared this before when I first started doing it. You guys know I have a Patreon, which is my video diary, where I use it for exclusive content. Yeah, like when I'm out with friends or we having conversations at the house or whatever. But I also use it to give back to my supporters because they're supporting me through Patreon. So when I first started promoting this, I only did it through Patreon because I knew that there would be people watching the video like, oh, this is a scam. This is and I didn't feel like having to explain it. I'm okay now explaining it now because I know a lot of you have used it and you know that it works. But in the beginning, I was just like, oh, I don't know you know how Black people are. We're forever skeptical. It sounds too good to be true, right? And so I was like, I'm not about to fool with this. And then they be looking at me crazy. So I didn't want to do it, but I knew that if I shared it with my Patreon, because I think I may have shared it with Patreon for about a month before I even started talking about it on the live. And so people in Patreon started making money. And then when I would go live talking about something else, I could be talking about a TV show. It would be people in the comments like, oh my God, Craig, thank you for signing me up for telling us about Patreon. So then they started talking about it in the live chat. And so then people kept asking, what is Patreon? So then I said to Kim, okay, let's start talking about it on the live. And so I started talking about it on the live. And again, it's my way of giving back because you guys have supported me so much. Whenever I do something to give back, like when we did the homeless drive, many of you sent in money to help us purchase the stuff that we gave away because Kim was here for that as well. And we did, great point, Mimi. Mimi said Craig would not share anything that he has not used. That's true. You guys know I use the Goalie Gummies. I've been approached about promoting supplements like work. You guys know I just came from the gym. Workout supplements. You guys know I don't eat dairy. Now every now and then I'll cheat when I'm at home because I might eat a stuffed crab or stuffed shrimp and they got a little dairy in it. But like when it comes to something that I use daily, like a workout supplement, for one, I don't use workout supplements. And when I did, I used Vega, which is a vegan one. Mm-hmm. But the ones that they were trying to get me to promote, It had dairy in it, and it had some other like something else that was like processed, something that I wouldn't use. So I'm not going to promote something that I'm not going to use, even though they were going to pay me and all that other stuff. But I just didn't want to be bothered.
No, I think your followers know that.
Right. So I'm just really saying that for like the new people.
Yeah.
But go ahead.
No, that's all I was gonna say. They know you're not gonna steer them wrong.
Okay, Janice says, what happens when you fill out the initial profile and they ask your age, but then you fill out the screeners
For the study.
study?
They don't go back.
They don't go back.
I have companies I've been with for 30 years that know my real age, and every time they call, I'm 47. So.
Right. So the best thing to do is just use your fake age.
Yeah, your tailored age.
Yeah,
yes.
your tailored age.
Some people use different profiles. I just stick to one thing.
Right. Now your profile is, again, your age, your race, your income, even if it's not your real income.
Level of education.
Status,
and do you have kids?
Marital status, and do you have kids? Okay, so even if you're a single person and you don't have children, you don't have a partner. Well, I said single. Your profile should reflect the opposite.
Because I had a lady, she had been in there for a couple of months. She was never getting anything. And so that was when I used to make phone calls.
Yeah.
But it didn't take long. She was putting single. As soon as
she kept putting single.
Divorce. As soon as she put married.
But again,
she might be in here.
But that's one of those things that is in the module. It tells you to make sure your profile says that you are married or you have a live-in partner or something. But again, when Kim did that one-on-one with her, she realized that every time she did a screener, she was putting that she was single, and that's why she kept getting rejected.
Or sometimes people put their income way too low. I don't get you kicked out too. I mean, they want people that have disposable income.
Right.
You know, they're not selling you anything, but you know.
They want people who are going to spend money on products.
Right.
Or things. I mean, they could ask you about your grocery shopping habits. I don't eat meat, but I've done stuff for groceries. I can't put that I don't eat meat because that's going to disqualify me. So like I put that I eat meat and like I purchase. So like one of the things may have been about Hot Pockets and all these frozen things that kids eat. So I put that, you know, like what's my grocery list? I'll put that I eat. Well, we purchase Hot Pockets. We purchase Pop-Tarts and all that kind of nonsense. But you want to put that, you want to be what they're looking for. You got to be what they're looking for.
What the client's looking for.
Right. Are there any other questions in here that I may have missed? Let me look back again.
I'm going to put my email in there again in case anybody wants to ask any questions.
Danielle said they are only paying attention to what you put on the survey that you fill out, which is true. Will Kim said, come through Hot Pockets and Pop-Tarts. Yeah, the email address again down here for Kim is support@paidforyoursay.com. Mimi Parker said, I did a McDonald's drive-through study for $125.
So Kava, she's saying, be careful though. They do ask to see your driver's license. I had to take a pic holding my license. I do too. They never say, they really are looking at your face and your age.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, your face and your name.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, but you have to be confident.
You got to be confident.
You can't.
Right.
You just hold it there. I go to in-person ones all the time and show my driver's license.
Right.
And it's not, the age is not what I said to get in. So
right.
When you're going there, they don't have your age on that sign-in sheet. It's just your name. It's just your name.
It's just your name.
Maybe your phone number, but your age is not there.
Right.
And you're just signing in.
Now, for the in-person ones, when it comes to food, I never do those because it's always something that I can't eat. It's like chicken nuggets and I can't eat that stuff. Now, I did the Taco Bell one that I told you guys about earlier because Kim or somebody else had already done it.
That was a little different.
That was a little different. I already knew from the Telegram group how it was going to roll.
You literally went to Taco Bell.
You went to Taco Bell, picked it up, and you'd have to sit there and eat it. So I just picked it up, and then I had to fill out on my phone. I had to fill out a questionnaire. How did I like it? What did it taste like? And I just filled out answers, and then they sent me a check. But if it was something that I had to actually eat in person, I wouldn't have done it because I don't eat meat.
And I have some people that do go really far. They act like they're eating it.
Really?
It's just a little too
now, let me say this. There are market research studies that come through where it's where you have to take like some sort of a psychotropic drug. Like it might be on depression or what are some of the others?
I don't ingest anything.
I'm not ingesting a damn thing.
Or you're getting a shot. I'm not.
Or you're getting a shot of something because they're trying to test and I'm not doing any of that. Now, if you really,
They pay really well.
they pay really well. There'll be thousands of dollars. Now, I'm not doing that. Now,
like at the beginning of the COVID, they had a vaccine study. I think it was $750. I mean, the very beginning,
Yeah.
before the vaccine even.
good
came
luck
out.
and good night.
So
I'm not taking no medication for depression. Now, they'll have some stuff for menopause. I'm not taking anything. Now, if you want to take stuff, if you want to be a guinea pig, that's your business. But as for me and my household, I'm not doing that. I know somebody back home in Maryland who used to do those kind of studies all the time, and he would be on drugs. Like, when I say drugs, I mean pharmaceutical drugs. He would take those kind of things.
Yeah.
But they have sleep studies too, where you may have to leave your house, but you don't have to take anything. But they're monitoring your breathing. You sleep overnight though.
I did that.
I remember.
It was on snoring. I didn't think I snored, but
Lies you
I
tell.
went to I didn't think I snored. I went and I figured I'll go the first night because you get paid the first night regardless.
Right.
So I was just gonna get my little money, and they were like, "Oh, you snored."
And they kindly printed out that
Yeah,
that
you
thing
can
that
come back.
said, yeah, you snored here and here and here. Right, get somebody else to go because I'm not taking the psychotropic drugs. I'm sorry. All right, I think we've answered all of the questions. Remember, the link is scrolling down here. You got to type in www.paidforyoursay.com. And then the promo code is going to ask you, once you get there, you're going to type in best life 100. All right? Hopefully this helps. Hopefully you can make you some extra money. The summer is coming. I know you want to take vacation and do all of the things. Some of you may be in education. You may not be working this summer for summer school. Here's your money. My friend Angela is in it. Angela is in it. Elliot is in it. Keon is in it.
Scott.
Brian is in it. Scott is in it.
Sydney
is in it. He just did one the other day for $350. Georgiana is in it. Jack is in it.
Kim.
My friend Kim in New York is in it. I think that's all that you guys know of my friends, but that's
There's
pretty.
one
That's
more.
oh. Anyway, you guys have an amazing night. Lisa said, "I'm so grateful for Pay for Your Say." I'm really glad that I was able to share this with you guys because, again, I really was reluctant. I wasn't going to do it, and
it's kind of hard to explain, and
yeah,
it doesn't sound like it could be true.
But it is. It really is
Yeah.
true. And again, I wouldn't have you sign up and then you lose your money. I just wouldn't do that.
I get they just bring tears to my eyes, some of the things that people write me.
Yeah.
And how it's changed their
Oh,
life.
well, let me say this before we go. There was a woman, I don't remember her name, but she emailed me and she said, my husband left me and I'm now a single mother. And she said, I didn't know how I was going to make ends meet. And she said, and I heard you talking about this Pay for Your Say. And I heard you talk about Pay for Your Say. And she said, and I took a chance. She said, I really didn't have the money to spare, but I took the chance. And she said, and I just have to tell you, I'm making enough money to connect the dots and to have a little extra. So she was just so grateful. And I mean, that really made me feel good. Because again, I was only going to share it with my Patreon. Because I just felt like I could contain that. And so if there were any questions, we could kind of contain it. And I just didn't want, because, especially we live in a world with GoFundMe. Every time you look up somebody putting up a GoFundMe. And I didn't want people to be leery of this. And so, but I'm glad I did. So anyway, you guys have an amazing night. Oh, yes. Okay, let me tell this story and then I'm going to really get off. She was actually in here tonight. So there was a woman.
Yeah, she's in here.
She's in here. There was a woman who was living with her daughter. And she was living out of 10 totes, like 10 containers. All her belongings were in 10 totes. Her daughter had gotten another job. Where was she living, in Arizona? I think she was living
I just know were they moving to Texas?
They were moving to Texas, but I think they lived in Arizona. Her daughter was moving to Texas because she had gotten a job. And this lady didn't know if she wanted to move to Texas. But she didn't have any other choice because she didn't have a job and all her belongings were in 10 totes. And what happened was she emailed me just to tell me her story, right?
She had stopped watching you because...
She said she had stopped. Yes. She said she stopped watching my lives because she kind of felt like...
It made her... You were doing well.
I started doing well, and she kind of felt envy. And she kind of felt like God wasn't answering her prayers. And she felt like she was watching me get support from all of you. You guys were purchasing books and just whatever, right? I bought a house. And so she just kind of felt like some kind of way. So she stopped watching. And so then she emailed me and she said to me, I haven't watched you in a while. And she said, this is what I'm going through. And basically she felt kind of bad that she, I guess, became envious, right? Because envy really is the fear that God isn't going to bless you in the way that he's blessed somebody else. That's really what envy is. And so I emailed her back and I was going to Cash App her some money, right? My first instinct was just to Cash App or something. But then I thought, now don't be emailing me for no money because I ain't got none. She just kind of tugged at my heart. Now listen, people be DMing me on Instagram asking for money. I ain't got it. I don't even open those. But this lady, it was just something in my spirit that just kind of touched me. And my knee-jerk reaction was to just email her back and ask her for her Cash App, and I was going to send her something. But don't you email me because the answer is no. And so I thought about it. And I said, no, the better thing to do would be to get her into Paid for Your Say. And she can make her own money, because the best way to help somebody is to do what? Allow them to help themselves, right? To put them in a position to help themselves. So I reached out to Kim and I told her the story. And I said, do you think we can just gift her and put her in Paid for Your Say? And also, don't be emailing us talking about, what can you gift me? Because I'm having a hard time too. The answer is no. Okay, that was a one-time thing. The spirit had moved that day. And so we gifted it to her and we got her in. And then she got a study like
within a week.
And it was like, it was $450. And she emailed me back and was like, oh my God, I'm so grateful. And no, we didn't ask her to pay for her membership.
I just think we just would have cashed after. I mean, how?
Because again,
that would have been.
Because I was only going to cash her for about $100. But so we put her into the study, and then she ended up making $450 on her first study. And she since emailed me and said, oh my God, this Paid for Your Say. She's come on the live and she said, yes, teach a man to fish, baby. Listen, that's it right there. And so she's come on live since then and said, I'm doing really well. I think she has her own place now. Yeah. But she started really doing well with Paid for Your Say. But when she got in there, she was kind of discouraged. Her spirit was already discouraged. And I said, you can't go into this nervous. You can't go into it feeling like I'm never going to get anything. Especially those of you that have already signed up and you haven't landed your first one yet. Change your energy. You got to change your energy. You got to change your energy. You can't sit down to the screener thinking like, oh, I'm not going to get into it. Your energy is reading. Your energy, you're sending that energy out into the world, right? So just be in a great space. Expect when you sit down, and then you'll be fine.
Got to be consistent too.
Okay, my girl. Yeah, you got to be consistent. My girl G Tobert or Tobert, however you pronounce it. Because I have a friend, he says Tobert. She's doing one right now. Yeah, she's a true success story. She really is. So listen, and she's back in school. She's back in school also, because I think she's using some of that money to send herself back to school.
Too, and this is great for teens.
It is great for teens. Those of you that got friends, kids in college, you can send them the Visa card so they can get out of your pocket. Or they can do the studies themselves. They ain't got to go take a job or anything like that. You want them to focus on their education. Let them get it. You can pay for them to get into Paid for Your Say. And then also my girl Stacey Michelle, she may still be in here. She has a daughter who's in a private school, boarding school. Mm-hmm. And she said she was having a hard time paying as well. She's been using her Paid for Your Say money to pay for her daughter's boarding school. Yes. No?
It's up to PayPal.
It's
only available to certain customers, and I don't know.
Okay. So Dee Dee is asking, can you still make a payment in 4 payments? So if you pay through PayPal, and again, PayPal determines whether or not they're going to let you break up the $100. So you would basically pay the $100 in 4 payments, right? So it would be 25, 25, 25, and 25. But again, PayPal determines that. But typically, when you sign up through PayPal, they'll let you pay it in 4 installments if you don't have the $100 right away. All right, Dr. LaCourtney. Hey there. She just signed up, she said. But it's a great way to make extra money. All right. So anyway, I think we've covered everything. Please hit the like button. Please hit the like button on this video.
And please share this.
Yes, please share it. Please share it. And if you don't, because you may fuck up the information. You're trying to explain it to somebody and you done fucked up the information. Just share the video. Just share it. Because you done fucked it up. You done told the story wrong.
And give them my email.
Yeah, and her email. All right, so you guys have an amazing night. Kim got to drive back out of town. She lives
A flight.
Yeah,
I took a flight.
she's 32 minutes from me. Okay, so we got to get her back home because it's already dark outside. And I don't know if she can.
I'm sleeping in the Murphy bed.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because see, I don't know if she can really see that well at night. Yes, Philip Syfax. He said after this rent increase, I definitely need to get on track. Yes. So anyway, you guys have an amazing night. Brush your teeth, floss your teeth, brush your tongue. Thank you for supporting what I do. Thank you for trusting me. Have an amazing night. Bye.
Bye, guys.
I'll see you on Patreon because we uploaded. I got some Patreon for the past couple of days, so I'm gonna upload that tonight. Bye.